You have a headline show on Friday, July the 10th, at Fiber Magis in Dublin, playing alongside Boy Racer and Shannon Crown. So how are the rehearsals going on? This is a big gig, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going. They're actually about to go on seriously after this interview. We are pumped for this. It's a good headline slot. It's kind of like the big headline show for us for the summer this year. So we're gonna dig deep. We're gonna throw in some golden oldies. We're gonna throw in some unreleased stuff. We're gonna have some nice interludes. Go down some rabbit holes. Have this guy go crazy on the drums.
Will happen.
Do a meet and greet with everybody in the audience while the gig is still in progress. Everything and more that you would expect from a Ritual Effects show. I cannot wait. It's been ages since we've done a decent long show like this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm also really looking forward to see the other bands. And Chanel Crown are pretty new, and I think it'll be their first show with us, or it'll be their first show ever. I think.
I think
I
so.
think
Yeah.
so. I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing those guys.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to ask you first, Christopher. I want to
Yep.
ask you about the band and your influences because there's a lot of grungy and alternative rock elements in the band's DNA, but also I heard some traces of progressive rock or progressive metal, even some darker things around melodic death metal in some kind of
Yeah.
way. So, am I right? What can you say about that?
Yeah, I think it's something that has really evolved and progressed, especially since Paul joined us. Man, it's actually a lot longer than I give it credit for now.
Yeah,
I think it's
I've been
like
here
eight
like
years or something now.
a third of my life, I think. Yeah.
So I think initially, when I joined up with Mo, it was very much down the grunge, very much down a grunge path.
Yeah.
Lots of Smashing Pumpkins, lots of Alice in Chains, definitely some Deftones in there, that kind of thing. And I think then as we sort of developed and evolved, and as I said, particularly when Paul joined, um, I think we sort of developed it into something a little more unique. Like, I don't want to go down that cliche where you ask every band, like, so who would you say you sound like? And they're
Mm.
always like, oh, we don't sound like anyone, man. We're our own thing. But I think we did. I think that when the three of us came together, it definitely brought it to a different space than maybe it had inhabited before. Paul and I are both huge Rush fans. We're all way into Tool. Mo also plays in a Tool and a Perfect Circle tribute band. So there's definitely some elements of that coming into what we're doing as well. But I think we've definitely stayed true to like the grunge core that we've always had, but we've been able to embellish and develop upon that as us as a trio has evolved. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, Mo, your latest single is Resolution. It's a powerful and hard-hitting track with a strong guitar presence. Where did you record it, and what is the song about?
Well, yeah, we recorded it first of all. We've done most of our recording out with Michael Richards in Track Mix Studio out near Blanchardstown. He's been kind of our go-to guy since day one. Absolutely legend. Really can't say enough good things about him. He's very patient with us, and I don't know. We experiment a lot, and I think he allows us mess around until we have exactly what we're looking for. So yeah, and Resolution. It's actually probably one of my favorite songs that we've ever done. It's a huge kind of like sprawling. It starts kind of like normal upbeat kind of thing, and then it gets dark in the middle, and then it has a huge kind of recovery towards the end with a huge, spiraling outro. And the song, it's probably one of the most personal ones for me. It's really just about a loss that I had, and then just a lot of negative side effects that came from that, and just being taken advantage of when you're in a very vulnerable state after losing someone that you love, and it's mad. Like there's people that will just plant themselves around you, waiting to kind of take advantage of you when you're at your most vulnerable, and that's kind of what the song is about. And it's about like recognizing that you're in this absolutely just like this darkest, deepest place that you've never imagined being stuck in because of people you thought you could trust. And then it's just about slowly, finding your way out of it and getting back to normal and just erasing the negativity and the negative influences from your life and just trying to recover and try to start over and accept the things you've lost and accept there's going to be a bit of a recovery process and healing and but you just stay strong and stay as positive as you can and eventually things do work out. Your friends come to your aid and you get back on track and then you write a kick-ass tune.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, you have to, to recognize, to embrace darkness, and then you will enjoy life. You will embrace light. Paul, what about you in terms of recording the drums for that specific track? What was your what? Yeah, what were you searching for in terms of the drum sound?
Always something that matches the song, but like Mo said, it's emotional. You know, it starts off somewhere calm, and then it's really right at the end. There's this interesting section that's it's the most like fun you have. It's the most fun I think I have with the band to create something. It just seems like real colorful the whole move through it, and it changes in like every certain amount of sections. It's really nice, So for me, you just want to make it colorful. You want to make it interesting.
I'm working with you. Like when you throw something like that at Paul, he'll just try 100 different things, and
so many options for such a good riff, though.
Yeah.
And then he eventually does what you suggested.
When I understand about 3 weeks later.
And the song has some kind of breakdown in the middle. That is great. Guys, what are your plans for the rest of the year? I imagine that you will tour across Ireland. That's the idea. What can you say about that?
Well, first of all, we're definitely still in the tail end stage of promoting Resolution, so we're trying to get a new music video done in the next few weeks for that. It's been kind of something that's been on the plate for quite a while, but we're hopefully nearly ready to do that. We want it to be as epic as the tune, and we have a good idea for it, and we have people on board. So hopefully that's the first thing we'll do. Then we'll prep for this awesome Fibber McGee show, and it's funny in this country, especially with us, like gigs just kind of happen. We've got such a great network of bands. We're never short of tour dates or gigs with around the entire span of the country. Right now the calendar is pretty free. We haven't we've also been planning we have an EP to launch once Resolution video comes out, so it's going to be 5 tunes, some of them already released, but it's going to be a couple of unreleased. So there's a new EP coming out. We're already working on the next EP. We have 5 tunes already recorded for that.
Nice.
Which have a little bit more work to do.
Yeah.
So we've been very busy with the writing, rehearsing, recording. Not so active on the gig booking. We never are. The gigs seem to come to us. Even this Fibber McGee's one just happened, and we were just right place, right time. So yeah, but it's a huge year for releases on the horizon, and I'm looking forward to getting that stuff out. And once we start pushing the releases, we start kind of getting the finger out and getting the gigs. And that's usually how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, it is what it is, as you say there in Ireland. Okay, so what about the lyrics? I get the impression that the lyrics are introspective, reflective, and personal, as you said. What can you say regarding that?
Yeah, like everything I write about, not just in this tune, it's always usually from some sort of personal experience. I don't get too, artsy with lyrics. They're pretty readable. They're pretty direct. And yeah, like I just like to put as much emotion into the writing as I can, and I like it to reflect the music. I don't usually I wouldn't write music knowing what the song is going to be about, but once the song is structured musically, then I usually have some sort of story in the back of my head or something that I've wanted to write about. And when Resolution came about with the progression that it has, you're happy, life is good. Then you get slammed with that riff in the middle. your whole world turns upside down, and then you've got this, you know, this kind of uphill struggle to get out at the end as the song keeps on looping and looping and looping, and that just fit the experience I had so perfectly. I was like, this is the one. I've had this bottled up in my head, and I want this to be on paper, and let's just do this. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, guys, I know that the Irish government has introduced a funding scheme for musicians. What's your view on that, and what improvements could be made in terms of arts and cultural scene in Dublin as well as in Ireland? Chris or
Jesus.
Paul?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of venues. I think there
Yeah,
could be more venues. That could be a great thing.
yeah, it
you
is
know?
one of the, particularly since COVID.
Yeah, I know that some
Definitely.
venues had closed there in
Yeah,
Dublin.
but
Yeah.
like even pre-COVID, the options for heavy music, even in a city as big as Dublin, were very, very limited.
Hmm.
So, and one of the biggest things we've been seeing since COVID as well is that venues are less willing to gamble. Um, it's a lot of cover bands, it's a lot of tribute bands, it's a lot
Yeah.
of just your standard like pub covers, one guy in an acoustic guitar doing Ed Sheeran songs. You know, there's a lot
Yeah.
of you know, there's very few, like, and I can understand it from a venue's point of view that they want customers in the door, they want a sure thing, but you know, it's tricky as an original band. And I guess something we've always said as well is that as a band like us that don't really fall, you know, we're not heavy metal, but we're not a
Right.
pub band, you know, and it's a weird kind of niche in the middle that can be very tricky to service. So I think, I mean, even when venues were at their peak here, and you know, the music scene was incredible,
Yeah.
it was still quite difficult for heavy bands to get that sort of showcase. So I think, yeah, Paul's absolutely right. Like,
For once.
just yeah, write this down. But genuinely, it's yeah, more venues, more opportunities would be a big thing. I mean, funding is all well and good, and if anyone wants to come and throw loads of money at us, we will absolutely take it. But you know, to have opportunities, venues, audiences out there to actually pick up on what we're doing would be huge.
Yeah, and the opportunity to just, you know, open for bands that are coming through. Not a lot of bands do come through, but
Yeah.
you know, you don't. It would be very hard for a band in our position to try and find a, you know, a support slot on a touring or a big international act, for instance. So yeah, I mean, just friendly opportunities,
Yeah,
more
Yeah.
venues. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, really. Yeah.
there's a lot of gatekeeping in that sense, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to establish an audience, you have to, to give bands opportunities. I mean, to get covered on magazines and websites. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. So, guys, the band has been around for 9 years.
That's enough.
So
That
far,
is
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I imagine I'm talking about the music industry today that it's so fucked up. I imagine that perseverance and consistency is the key to have a band and to develop it through through the years. Do you agree with that?
I mean, absolutely. Like like particularly for a band of our size and stature, shall we say? You know, if you're doing it for the money, you would have quit an awful long
Yeah,
time ago.
it's
You know,
over.
so it's got to be about doing it for the love of what you do. And like, I'm not blowing smoke when I say this, but we are my favorite band. You know, I love the music that we create. I love the energy that we have when we're in the room together. I love the process of what we do, the honesty that we can have with one another when we're writing and recording. Like, it's, yeah, perseverance is one thing, but it never strikes me as persevering with anything when it's something I'm this into and this passionate about and this just constantly excited for, you know.
That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
That was a good answer.
I love you too, Chris.
Yeah, and I think that you have to be genuine. You have to be, as Chris Cornell said, to be yourself is all that you can do. Because
Yeah.
if you're trying to fit, to imitate, like, as you said, cover bands, you have you don't have your own light. You have to be genuine, true to yourself. You have to be honest, and then maybe you will connect with the audience in that
For
way.
sure. And I think that's something that comes through in our performance. You know, I
Yeah.
think people can tell that there's no bluster about what we're doing. There's genuine love of what we do, and I think that's what, you know, sort of like, I think someone once described Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden as like being able to have a stadium full of people just right there, you know.
So if we had a stadium,
You know,
it would be right
but
there.
I think, you know, when it's clear that you're doing something from a real and authentic and genuine place, that's when people come on board. And I think, yeah, I think that's something that really shines when we play live. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, two more questions. What would you say to someone who doesn't know Ritual Effect? What message would you give to a listener who hasn't heard you?
My God. Well,
Just listen to
you
fucking music.
please come to our show. No, I'd be like, you know, we're gonna treat it like, come see us. We're gonna treat this like it's our last gig, like it's our biggest gig, like it's just, you know, the best show of our life. Every time you come see a Ritual Effect gig, you're gonna see us going absolutely nuts on stage. You're gonna have a great time. We're gonna get interactive. You're gonna just be part of the band by the end of the gig. You don't necessarily have to like the genre of music to like our show, which is a huge thing. I think, you know, we mess about, we have fun with everybody, and like, you know, there's tons of people we met after our shows who are like, God, I'm not into this kind of stuff, but like the show is awesome, and that's what I would try to get across to anyone who for some reason doesn't know our band at this stage. What would you guys say?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Well, last one. Name me 3 albums that got you into music. I will start with Paul.
Ooh.
3 albums that got me into music.
Yeah.
Probably 2112 by Rush. I kind of knew Skunk and Nancy young. What was that album?
Oh, what a great band, Skunk and Nancy.
Amazing.
And then I listened to a lot of Zeppelin, so I don't know, but they'd be definitely my influences. Like loads of Zeppelin. My dad was a massive Zeppelin fan, so.
Okay.
But yeah, them 3.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
This is really tricky. This is really tricky. 3 bands or 3 albums? Apologies.
3 albums, but maybe you could say 3 bands too.
I mean, the Smashing Pumpkins are a huge part of my my teenage years and have remained so ever since. So I'm a huge fan of the Machina album, but I mean, Melancholy's a fucking masterpiece,
yeah.
So that's got to be up there. When I started playing and started learning, I actually started on guitar originally, so a lot of just basic guitar stuff, even like Oasis and the Beatles and that kind of thing, were all like heavy rotation when I was learning how to play guitar. But when I started picking up a bass, it was because I'd gone to see Audioslave playing in Paris and just watching Timmy C play, and then learning every Rage Against the Machine album, you know. So I think a huge part of my playing style is thanks to Timmy C. So yeah, I'd definitely have that up there as well.
Okay, and finally, Mo.
Yeah, well, not too dissimilar for one band anyway. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream, untouchable. By a mile, my favorite album, and it's been like that way for decades now at this stage. But so Siamese Dream, I'll say Freak Show by Silverchair, very underrated, incredible band.
Yeah.
I wear that album T-shirt every gig we play. You'll see any video or any photo you see, you'll see me wearing that T-shirt. And then I would probably have to give the Deftones their dues here. I think. Around the Fur, Deftones, absolutely massive influence for me as well. That really, like, that was the huge bridge from the kind of grungy music I was liking into the heavier realm, and it's just beautiful. Chino's vocals and Jesus, the drumming on that album is just insane. Yeah.
Ed Cunningham, that's the drummer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks a million for your time. Looking forward to connect you and to see you live there in Dublin, as well as many other cities.
Excellent. Hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Thank you.